Minion lovers, this is probably one of the funnest patterns that I have done, guys. And it's very much inspired for my son. He absolutely loves the Minions. So I thought I can go ahead and just share a tutorial. So these are our materials, and I'm using loops and threads. They discontinued this specific brand, but they do have a chunky chenille brand out. And I will be using Walmart's brand for his goggles. All in the description box, guys, of how many yards. But this is their materials right here. I just want to run through it. And for the buttons, I'm using classic red heart yarn. I'm going all yarn with him here. Scissors, you need polyfill, and of course Google eyes. This is what just really makes your Minion right here. So this is from Amazon. We will be using 3 inches, I believe. But like I told you, all in the description box, all the yarn colors. It is loops and threads I am using. A discontinued brand right here, but they did bring out a new brand of yarns called Fluffy Chenille, I believe. Gorgeous brand. I use that actually for my teddy bears. But this is how we get started. We're gonna get started with our blue or your primary color, and we want a nice long tail. So think of a ruler size. Better to be safe than sorry. So, you know, a nice long tail, but up to 12 inches or less. And you want to get your yarn in that position and flip it over. You're going to take that loop and pull it over the working yarn, right where you see me pointing. Pull the working yarn and pull on your tail. And we just made a slip knot. This is how we start out all plushies in hand knitting. And so you pull the tail to tighten it, and you pull in the working yarn the right side to adjust your loops. Now we want to knit tight. You always want to knit tight when it comes to plushies. Think of the joint on your index finger, or even tighter beneath the joint, especially for size 6 super bulky yarn. So this is how we're starting off. We're doing our foundation chain, and we're going to cast on, is what it's called. We're going to cast on 14 stitches or 14 loops, as you see me doing. Simply pulling the working yarn through. And you want to knit tight again, like I told you. To count, you can glide your finger down the middle of the bumps, or you can count the rigid tops. So there's 2 ways. And when you're doing a plushie, it's really effective to glide your finger going down and for the middle of the loops. And for each indent, that is a row. That is a loop, that is a row. So we're going to cast on 14. And there is no need to rush, guys. When I was first learning, I was learning from hand knitters that were just zooming through it, and I tried to match their speed, and there really is no need. Just hand knit slow. Count. We want 14 stitches. We're making a large size, medium to large size here. And guys, I still hand knit slow and just enjoy it. There's no need to rush if you are a beginner. Just go slow and enjoy it. This is real time right here, guys, and I go slow. So once you get 14, always count back down. Always count your work. Because if you miss a stitch, you gotta start all over. So there's the knot on the left side, and then 14 stitches. So once you have 14, you're gonna take your foundation chain, and we're going to insert the long tail right where you see me poking.